I'm closing with this story. There's a story that is told about a woman by the name of Pearly. And Pearly used to work for Sister Jones, who was rich and had all kinds of money. And my mama, Pearl, she had to work for a lot of people, cleaning a lot of toilets. That's why, listen, that's why I would dare not be disrespectful to my mama. Are you hearing me? Listen, she made too many sacrifices for me to be standing here today. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but I don't care. Listen, my mama was not a perfect mama, but baby, she did the best she knew how to do. And I'm talking to some kids right now that need to straighten your act up and apologize to your mama and your daddy. And Pearly was helping Miss Jones prepare for the Christmas party. And Miss Jones, being the rich person she was, had invited a whole list of people. And that morning when Pearly got up to set the table and the silverware and all that stuff, she got a call from her son in Detroit. And the son told her, said, "Mama, the doctor gave me some bad news. I don't know if I'm going to make it." And Pearly said, "Baby, I'm going to be praying with you, but I'm on my way." She hung up the phone and she went downstairs and she talked to Miss Jones. Said, "Miss Jones, listen, I just got a phone call from my son and said, it looks bad. He ain't going to make it. I need to borrow some money so I can catch me a train to get to Detroit." Miss Jones instantly got an attitude. "What you mean you gotta leave? I got a party to throw tonight. You can't be leaving me in shape like this." Pearly said, "Baby, listen, you didn't hear me. You must be, I said my son don't think he gonna make it. And I need to borrow some money so I can get there. I'm not letting you go nowhere because I need you here to help me celebrate this Christmas party. I need you to set this table in order." Pearly said, "Okay." She went upstairs, got her luggage. She started to pack her clothes. And as she gets ready to come downstairs, Miss Jones said, "Where you going?" She said, "I'm going to Detroit." "How you gonna get there? You ain't got no money." Pearly looked at Jones and said, "The Lord will provide." She grabbed her suitcase, she walked out the door. She started on the way down to the train station, which was a long way. And Mr. Charlie, who drove the cab, came by and saw Pearly walking, pulled over and said, "Hey, Pearly." She said, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" He said, "Baby, where you going walking out here in this heat like that?" She said, "I'm on the way to the train station." Mr. Charlie said, "Well, jump in, I'll take you." She said, "Mr. Charlie, I ain't got no money." He said, "Baby, as good as you've been to us, I ain't going to even charge you to take you down here. Because every time we came to Miss Jones' house to pick her up and pick her kids up, you fed us, you loved us, you helped us, and I dare not charge you to take you down to the train. Get on in here." He jumps out the car, grabs her bag, throws it in the trunk, pushed the door open, and he took off and he got her down to the train station. She jumps out with her bag. And when the caboose said, "All aboard," Pearly stepped on the plane. She stepped on the train and sat down, put her stuff over the overhead bag, and she took a seat. The conductor comes around. "Ticket, ticket, 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 ticket. Get to Pearly, ticket." She said, "I'm sorry, sir, I don't have one." He said, "Ma'am, I need your ticket." She said, "Sorry, sir, I don't have one." He said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to put you off this train." So he grabs her suitcase, he escorts Pearly off, set it on the curb, he gets back on, and he hollers to the engineer, "We ready?" All to go. Engineer throws up the brake, pulled the whistle. He hissed the accelerator, but the train wouldn't move. Engineer said, I must have done something wrong. So he goes through the process again. He throws up the brake. He pulls the whistle. He steps on the accelerator, but the train didn't move. After the second time, he hollered back to the man in the caboose. He said, man, are y'all having trouble back there? Caboose hollered up to the engineer and said, no, the only thing we had was a woman got on the train with no ticket. And I had to take her bags and put her off the train. The engineer hollered back at the caboose and said, hey, do me a favor. He said, look out the window and tell me what that woman was doing. Looked out the window. He hollered back at the engineer. He said, it looked like she down on her knees praying. Then the engineer, who was a saved man, said, I tell you what you do. Go down and get that woman's suitcase. Go down and bring that woman back on this train. And the caboose did it. And when Pearly got on the train, he went through the process again. He threw up the brake. He pulled the whistle. He stepped on the gas. And that old train said, shh, 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 shh. That's not the end of the story. The caboose got angry because somebody overthrew his authority. And he snuck up beside Miss Pearl. And he said, Miss Pearl, he said, you made us late. And that means that we're going to mix our connection in Chicago. Pearly stood to her feet, put her hands on her hip, looked that man in the eye, and she said these words, the same God that held this train will be the same God that hold the other train. And I wonder, is there anybody in here got that kind of faith where you got to walk on God's word, you got to stand on God's word? If you got that kind of faith, get to your feet and just tell the Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We don't see miracles because when the situation is not favorable, we bow down to the situation. Most of us would have said, well, I guess I can't go because I ain't got no money. But saints, let me tell you something. When you trust God, listen, can I help you? I got to get out of here. I'm feeling the Spirit of God. Pray for me. Tell somebody, say, I ain't got money. And it's hard to spend money when you ain't got money. But what I do have is favor. And when I ain't got no money, I can spend my favor. Stand to your feet as we open the doors of the church, because I believe God is trying to get people moved in the right spot, in the right place. Because y'all, let me tell you something. What we're about to go through is going to try men's faith. And you can't be talking about having faith. You're going to have to know your faith is authentic and real. That's why when God takes you through trials and tribulation, you ought not to be quick to complain. You ought to just tell the Lord, Lord, I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you. Anybody in here with a situation right now? I don't know what he's doing. Because saints, sometimes God don't tell you what he's going to do. Because when we know, we bow out. Tell somebody, say, we just got to learn to trust God flat out. The doors of the church are now open. I preached this message today.